Good evening, everybody. It's so good to have you join my YouTube channel today. Thank you for joining. It's another interesting episode of Love Issues, and it's your girl, the Love Junkie. Okay, so today I have quite a couple of things to talk to singles that are wanting to go into a relationship, as well as those already in a relationship, be it a love relationship, you're still trying to know the person, what we normally know called dating. It could be a courtship relationship. You've made up your mind, this is the person you want to get married to, and you're already working yourself towards, marriage and everything like that. Okay, so today what I want to talk about to these sets of people is what I coined what love demands. Okay, the truth of the matter is true love has a couple of demands. True love has, some characters, some strong points. I call them foundational, rocks or foundational key points that will make true love very worthwhile in your relationship. If you look into the world today, so many people have come to understand that true love means different things. Somebody might say true love is being there for your partner, giving them what they desire, what they want, their time, your commitment, and everything to them. To another person, true love is sex. But the truth of the matter is, what does the Word of God say true love is? And that's exactly what I want to expatiate today, talking about what love demands. The first thing I want to talk about, the first point when it comes to what love demands is sacrifice. Sacrifice. You see, the Bible talks about in the book of John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Take a pause. He so loved the world. And after the Bible tells you that God loved the world, he gave. And what did he give? His only son. Now, if you look into that verse very critically, you could see that it wasn't something he wanted to, it was something he had to do because he loved the world so much. It's like you giving that priceless thing to somebody. You can't give anything priceless to somebody except that person is really priceless to you. And that's how God saw us. God saw us as priceless. And so he said, okay, my son, I need you to go and die for the sins of the world. Sacrifice is my very first demand of true love. If somebody is with you and they're not willing to sacrifice their time, willing to sacrifice, their money, willing to sacrifice everything that has to do with them for your sake, then they do not understand what true love is. Sacrifice is basically giving something valuable to someone that is more valuable. Sacrifice is just just letting go of whatever it is you see that this thing is so precious. You understand that the other person needs it better than you do, and so you say, okay, let me give it to you. That's what sacrifice is. Sacrifice is like pain. Of course, if you look into that particular verse I quoted earlier, it was something he had to do. It was painful. When Christ was dying on the cross, he said, oh, Father, why have you forsaken me? And I could just imagine the way God had felt at that time, but he knew he had to do it because he loved us so much. And when you look into the words, the canon of scriptures, every single time the Bible talks about love, sacrifice actually comes up. There's a way it's tailored into the verses. Sacrifice has to do with pain. If you're dating somebody or you're in a relationship or you want to go into a relationship, you must know that it's not about you anymore. Relationship is about two people, and that's why my last video was about singleness, the importance of singleness, the importance of young people. I spoke to the young people the last time I was here, and I told them that this is not the time to start going into relationships, falling in love. No. Once you are in your period of singlehood, the first thing you need to start building is your singleness. Singleness is a whole lot. But when you not when you leave that position, or rather leave that time, which is singlehood, you've made up your mind, okay, you're now matured enough to go into a relationship, you now know what it entails, you know what true love is about, and you have made up your mind, okay, I want to go into it. These are the things you need to know. If you do not know these things as what love demands, it's very likely possible that you make mistakes in relationship. It hurts me when I see people go into relationship. I had a couple of people come to me back then when I was in the university, talking to me about, oh, I went out with this person. I thought he was the right person, but unfortunately he broke my heart, and all that. And it's quite rampant these days. People come together, they say they're in a relationship, but before you know it, they've gone their separate ways. Why? Sacrifice and many other points I'm still going to make and talk about are the things people need to know that build love. Love is not just something out there. Love is serious business. And basically, when you look very deeply into what love entails, the things that make love true, the first thing is sacrifice. Sacrifice is key. If they're not willing to give you, if they're not willing to let you have what is priceless to them, their time, their affection, their commitment, everything about them, then you should know that that is something you might have to look into very. And for you as well, if you're going to a love relationship, you must know it's not about you anymore. A relationship is about two people, and in that relationship, you don't look at yourself. You put the interest of the other person before yours, and that's exactly how relationships succeed. Marriages succeed. Marriages today don't succeed because the couple, or rather the man and the woman, are always looking into what they want to take. No. If you want a relationship to succeed, if you want a marriage, it's not about you anymore. Singleness was about you. Yes, singleness was a time for you to know yourself, get to shower yourself with love, self-knowledge, everything about you, discovery and everything. But when you come into a relationship with the understanding of what you had built in singleness, it is not about you anymore. It's about the next person. It's about the person you're into relationship with. And so it's very important to know that sacrifice is the foremost key that love demands. Okay, so we go to the next point. The next key that love demands is commitment. Commitment. Very interestingly, when I look into what happens around relationship these days, there are quite a number of things. I've heard people say they don't want to get married, but they're in a relationship. Or let me just say it this way: they might be in a relationship, cohabiting like married couples, but they do not want to get married. And I'm like, oh, so why? You're afraid that marriage might cause you both to get rift apart or get separated. And I'm like, no, marriage is the reason why God created you know relationship, love relationship. Rather, it's like the end point of love relationship. So if you're saying that you're scared of going into marriage because you feel that the marriage will break that relationship, that commitment is faulty. Anybody that's going to be committed to you has got to be committed to you from start to finish. Start in the sense that your relationship, your love relation has begun. They are committed to you. They know that they know how much important, or rather they know how important you are to them, and they want to give you everything. Is commitment is like the staying power in that relationship. You want to be committed to this person. You want to say, oh, you're the only person I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not going to be looking at somebody else. I'm not going to be giving my time to somebody else. Take for instance, perhaps maybe you have an outing to go for, and your spouse, or rather your the person you are dating, is supposed to be in that outing with you, and you give him a call and he's like, oh, sorry, I couldn't make it. But you're like, I told you. Why you know how important this thing is to me? If you had told them before then, I see no reason why they shouldn't have made it up. Why? Because they ought to know that commitment is key in a relationship. And of course, such happiness could make somebody feel very bad, and you start wondering, oh, does this person really love me? Why? Because commitment is key in a relationship. If they're not committed to you, then there's no point going to a relationship with that person. Commitment has all shades of of affection. Commitment is, for me, the second foundational point of love. If there is no commitment, then there is no point hanging out or going out with that person. Okay, the third point I want to talk about is trust. Trust. So many times people go into relationship with somebody they do not even know. you don't know somebody so well and you go into a relationship because you are so carried away with the love, feeling, the emotions, the butterfly in your stomach. You just got to know somebody in 2 months, and the next 4 months you're getting married. And I'm like, wow. Or even apart from even getting married, you just got to know someone for a short period of time, and you have already started giving yourself to the person, but you haven't even come to know who this person is. In getting to know who somebody really is how you begin to build trust. Trust for me is like a glue to any relationship. Take for instance, you get a beautiful flower vase that is so beautiful, has a lot of imprints on it, and somehow mistakenly it drops from your hand and it shatters, and you're like, oh my gosh, this flower vase is so important to me. Let me see how I can put it back together. No matter how you want to put it back together, the broken pieces, you want to glue it, but it will not have the same look it had when it was still brand new, compact, and together. That's exactly what love and trust is. Trust is a very important ingredient in true love. It makes the two people, have a level of vulnerability to themselves. They know this person, I can trust this person by being open. They trust this person with their vulnerability and knowing that this person will not hurt them or this person will not get back to them. That's the important. That's what trust really is. And it's important to know that if you cannot trust somebody, then there is no point going into a relationship with them. If you have tested, their character once, twice, and you've seen that they have, made a mistake, or they disappointed you, or they didn't live up to your expectation, why go into that relationship? See, for true love to happen, trust is very important. You cannot talk about true love without talking about trust. I see relationships today break up, and you're like, oh, this person was supposed to be with this person, and before you knew it, they found this person with somebody else. And I'm like, oh, there were definitely signs in this person's character that showed that he could not be trusted. So don't go into a relationship with a guy or with a girl that cannot be trusted. And trust is something that you have to see in the person's character. Trust is more like it entails faithfulness. If somebody is faithful, the person is trustworthy. Okay, so when I trust somebody, it means that I know this person cannot hurt me. I am so open, I am so free with this person. Take for instance with my husband, when we were still courting, I knew that this person is someone I could lay everything on. I could trust him with anything at all, and he won't share my secrets or share whatever issues I have with somebody else, not even with his family members. That's what love demands, trust. Fourth point I want to talk about today is maturity. You see, maturity is key when it comes to the demands of love. Maturity helps you, decide and choose whom you want to be or spend the rest of your life with. Love is not for kids. The Bible says in the book of 1 Corinthians 13, Paul said, when I was a child, I thought like a child. I spoke like a child. Now that I'm an adult, I have put childish ways behind me. Maturity is not a function of age. Maturity is a function of the growth and the inbuilt wisdom somebody has imputed upon themselves. You can see somebody at the age of 18, 19, and when they talk, when they speak, the level of wisdom, that reflects in their speech will tell you this person knows what he's doing, or this person knows what she's about. You see somebody at the age of 40, 45, the way he reacts to situations, the way he talks outside could also tell you, oh, this person is not mature. So maturity is not a function of it. Maturity is a function of the amount of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that has been imputed into somebody over time. And maturity is one very important aspect that can be built in singleness. Yes. Most times, people that are matured, when they go into relationship, they didn't just build the maturity there in that relationship. No, it's coming from someone. Maturity cannot be built in a day, just like how they say Rome cannot be built in a day. Maturity has, it has layers, and most times that kind of maturity is built, within a singleness. So when you go into a relationship, you should know that maturity is key. You don't want to go into a relationship with someone that acts like a child, behaves like a child, thinks like a child. I used to know that you can't choose somebody, or you can't go for somebody, that still makes you feel less of yourself. The person feels that you are not worthy to be loved, or you're not worthy to be given all the attention. There's a kind of character flaw that's attached to immaturity. For maturity also shows that this person knows how to love. Yes, because maturity has a way of placing you not just on the same pedestal with others, but a little bit higher than others. The importance of maturity when it comes to what love demands is that it helps you, it helps you enjoy your relationship. Two types of maturity. You have the physical maturity and you have the mental maturity. Somebody could be very physically matured, they look well polished, fine, well dressed, and everything, which is okay. At least physical maturity is something that is important, if you want to go into a lasting relationship, but it's not as important as the mental maturity. As a matter of fact, that's the major aspect of maturity in a whole. I will give like 30% to physical maturity, and I will give 70% to the mental maturity. They have got to be mentally matured. They have got to know what true love really means before you can want to go into a relationship with them. If not, most times such relationships that do not have two mature people in will have issues as they go up. Okay, the very last point for today. Interestingly, they are up to quite a number of points, but I'm going to take them in different parts. Yeah, part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. So the last point for today, I want to talk about tolerance. Love demands tolerance. I tell you, look at divorce rates are so high today. Why? Because this person could not tolerate this person anymore. And so it's important to know before you go into a relationship, can you tolerate this person? What are their character flaws? Nobody is perfect, we all know that. But there's a level of imperfection that you can tolerate. I believe you know that. There's a level of there are character flaws or shortcomings somebody might want to present or showcase, that you can say, okay, this is something I can deal with. And at the same time, it falls back to maturity. Some other persons might say, no, this kind of stuff, I cannot work with it. I can't deal with it. It's not something I can work with. No. And they move forward. So it depends on you. Tolerance is key. You don't just go into a relationship and say, oh, if he does any small thing, I beg, I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. I'm sick and I'm tired. I'm leaving this relationship. Come on. If that's how people are leaving an entering relationship, you would have your heart broken in several pieces. And most times, emotional heartbreak can be so terrible for people. You see, God is so sweet. And He wants you to know that. He wants you to enjoy love the right way. He wants your heart, your mind to be secured. He doesn't want you to just fall into, go into any relationship. No. He wants you to learn the importance, or rather the principles of true love, the things that make true love what it is, or the things that, which are the things I'm actually talking about today, the demands of love. Tolerance is key. If you cannot tolerate somebody, then why go into a relationship with them? If there are things that they do that you can't keep up with, okay, I understand the period of courtship, or rather the period of being friends. Yes, the period of being friends. For me, I believe that you don't go into a relationship with, romantic feelings. It's going to ruin you. It's going to burn you. You just want to go into a relationship to test the waters. No. The best relationship is friends. And even if you start feeling that kind of very high tension or very tense romantic attraction to somebody, I would advise the best thing, you have somebody you're accountable to. Go up to the person and say, oh, I have these very strong feelings for somebody, and they would sit you down. They could ask you questions, they could talk to you, help you see how you can come out, because feelings are very fickle. They don't last for so long. They're like chemical reactions. Feelings can just be here, they can come upon you right now, and in the next couple of minutes it's over. Okay, so it's important to know that as friends, that is the period where you get to start having to know person's character, because in friendship nobody is trying to please anybody. They're all being themselves. They're just showing themselves to you and all that. So that's the best time for you to get to know somebody really deeply. So tolerance is key in keeping, making a love relationship work. I remember watching Fireproof, and there was a song that was sung. I just want to sing some of the lyrics. It said, love is not a place that we come, go, and leave. It's a house we enter in, then commit to never leave. If people had that understanding of true love and marriage, you won't have all the divorce issues today. Even if it takes, according to the lyrics, if we try to leave, let God send guardian angels to guard the door. Love is not a fight, but it's something worth fighting for. That's what tolerance actually has to play with. You don't throw in the towel, or you don't say, I'm over with this relationship, I'm over with this marriage because this person is so hard or difficult to live with. Didn't you see that before you went into the relationship with the person? That's why we always tell people, you don't rush into marriage. You don't know. Marriage is not a joke. Marriage is something that God created for two people to stay with themselves for as long as they live. It's not for you to just go in today and come out tomorrow. That was not what God intended for marriage at all. The Bible said God hates divorce. Okay, that's another just for another day. But for right now, tolerance is key in making true love. Like, if you know that this person has, you can't build the person, you can't help the person get over that flow, or you can't help the person get over whatever it is that he's showing or she's showing to you that you're not very comfortable with, then there's no point going to that relation with somebody. Tolerance is also going to a relation with somebody and helping the person. You know in your heart that you can help this person. But most times, my advice is that if they can't help themselves, you can't help them. The least you can do is to pray for them, encourage them. Not even you, basically somebody they are accountable to, somebody outside the relationship. Both of you are in a relationship. Somebody outside the relationship can better do that, for him or for her, or with the person they're in a relationship with. So tolerance is key in making true love last. Okay, so I really believe that today's episode, or rather the part one of today's discussion, what love demands, has really resonated in your mind. Let's not forget, the first I said was sacrifice. There is no true love without sacrifice. There is no true love without sacrifice. As a matter of fact, some persons think that the proof of love is sex. Nope. The proof of love is continuous sacrifice. This person is willing and always wanting to be there, no matter how much it takes from them, no matter what they go through. They want to be there for you. They want to they want to see you prosper. They want to see you progress. They want to see the best of you. Sacrifice is the first thing that love demands. The second thing that love demands is commitment. You are committed. It's the staying, the stickability. You want to, or stickability. Yes, you want to be able to be there no matter what happens. You are not focused on any other person. You're focused on this person. You want the best for this person. You want to see this person rise and become the best. That's what it means to be committed. The third is maturity. True love will only last if the both of you are matured in your thinking, your mental build up. Is very important. The fourth, I spoke about tolerance. Okay, tolerance is important for a love relationship that will culminate into marriage and be prosperous or beautiful. And the last, these are the four foundational points I spoke about today. I really believe that if you start having to build yourself in this line and begin to understand what it entails, sacrifice, start putting your mind into having to build, understand what these points are, you start seeing that possible true love in a love relationship that can last and culminate into marriage is very possible. I just want to say here that love might be what took you to that point of actually starting a relationship, but you want to take it further into marriage and making the marriage last. It goes outside love. Love is not enough. No, love is not enough to make a marriage work. Love is not enough. What is enough is knowledge, and that's exactly what I have brought, information I have brought to you today. If you want to make your love last, if you want to make your marriage last, you must know what love demands, and you must work towards making sure that they are very key and being built in your relationship. Thank you guys for being a part of my YouTube channel discussions today. I really hope it was value for your time. Okay, don't forget, if you have any questions, I really love answering questions because it helps me really open up and talk about different things. So feel free, send me your questions through my email. You have it in the description below. Also feel free, I wrote about this a couple of years ago, what love truly costs, on my blog. Feel free, the description is also down below. You could just check and get to read. I would love to have you join me some other time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. hit the notification button, so anytime I have a new video, you get to know about it, you get to watch it. And that's cool. Also tell your friends about it. It's my passion, it's my desire for people to have beautiful love relationships like I do in my marriage. I always thank God every single day that I got married to the person that God wanted me to marry, and I have no regrets at all. And it's beautiful. And I also want the best. I want people to have that kind of, even better than my own. But it entails, or rather, it depends on you, on how willing you're really, on how you are willing to allow the principles of true love build you and also build your relationship. Thank you guys. I love you. See you some other time.